Hi everybody, this is a quick video to demonstrate the shared terminal functionality within the Trabea software time tracker. This is an Acumatica screen we're looking at, custom screen that is part of the time tracker, and I am signed in as this shared terminal user, which has special behaviors on its user profile to make the time tracker behave in this fashion. So I'm first going to scan an employee barcode, and this is just the employee number in Acumatica represented by a barcode. And the first one's going to be Maxwell Baker, and this created a new document for Maxwell, and Maxwell's first action could be to clock in here, and I'm going to scan a barcode to represent the production order and operation as well. You see I can do things manually here, but I want to show how quick this can be. And so we've scanned that, and it resets the screen waiting for the next employee. So instead of each employee having to sign in and sign out to record their time, they can use this one user. They can quickly scan a barcode for both themselves and to identify the production order they're working on and operation, so you don't need multiple barcodes to get to that spot. So if I scan another employee, this one will be Joseph. Kind of the same thing, right? So we are clocked out, but now we're going to clock in, and we're going to scan a barcode for the production order, and now Joseph is clocked in. Now I'm going to scan back into Maxwell here just to point out a few things. So this recorded when he clocked in a moment ago. It recorded the time, the production order category, the punch type of clock in, the labor type of direct. No labor code, because we're only going to send that over to the labor transaction screen if it's an indirect entry. And then the order number and order type and operation. I do have the shift defaulting off the employee as well, so Maxwell's employee record has a shift that can be edited if maybe he's working an abnormal shift, something along those lines. And if you do edit anything here, which I'm going to show really quick, if I change this to 8 a.m., any manual additions, deletions, or changes, edits, will lead to an entry over here on the log tab. So it's kind of an audit trail. No matter who does the editing, it will show it over here what the original entry was, and then what the new, if I scroll over to the right, what the new entry was. So I've got a lot of these columns hidden right now because I'm focusing on manufacturing, but you can see it supports projects, Acumatica's tasks, and a lot of other entities such as shipments, opportunities, etc. that you may want to record time against. And so what we'll do next, I just want to show, if I just came in here to look but I didn't have an action to perform, maybe I was checking and I forgot if I clocked in, I can hit reset, and now it's back ready for the next employee. So I'm going to actually go back into Maxwell again and show this dialog. This set task dialog is the same that we saw when we clocked in. Just want to point out a few things. So here's where you can choose your category. So we're under production order. You can also default that at the user profile level, as well as the time tracker's preferences. So categories can be projects, production orders, tasks, or other entities. If you're under production order, you can also have indirect labor, and I've got this labor code defaulting off the employee as well. So even if you are just simply doing an indirect entry, it's as simple as indicating that there and hitting OK, right? There's nothing to really scan there, but it is recording that for you. So if we come back and scan Maxwell again, we can take a look. That when I use that set task to go to an indirect time entry, it did a task out at that moment for the original production order and a task into this indirect entry. So now we're clocked in to this indirect, and I'm going to hit, we've got breakout and break in, lunch out and lunch in. I'll get into that in other calls. I want to focus on this shared terminal piece here. So I'm going to reset again, I just want to show how fast, if you're an employee here and you get the hang of this, then I'm going to show a couple of employees in a row clocking in here. So here we go. So as you can see, I just did that really quick for a couple of employees. If they've got their traveler with them, their production ticket, and it's got this barcode prepared on it, they can simply walk up to their terminal, and it can be a different terminal, right? That they clocked in on terminal 1, and then they're, at their work center, they have another terminal close by, and they go and do a set task and change to something else when they get over there. There's all kinds of options here, but this can be running on multiple devices, and since all the data is shared in the cloud with Acumatica, it's all available. It'll pick him up no matter which terminal he or she visit. And so I'm going to go back into Maxwell real quick, and we're going to go ahead and clock out just so I can show what happens when we do this. So if I clock out, I actually need to complete my time tracker here. So we could complete as we go. So as long, back when we had changed to indirect, I could have come here and completed this first entry, because it knows if you're out, whether it's a task out or clock out for the day, if that means you're out for that particular job or task, and it'll mark it that way. So when you hit complete, it'll create the labor transaction. Since we're working with the production order category, that's what it does. So you could hit complete here or complete there. I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing, and it created these labor transactions for us. Now my user doesn't have access to that. You could choose to give access for the shared terminal user, but I purposefully just limited, this is the only screen that user can see, and this labor transaction we're going to visit under another user. Before I go there, just want to show this profile setting, which causes the behavior, right, that we're seeing, and that's the shared terminal for time tracking. If I check that box, it adds the employee barcode to the time tracker screen, and it resets that screen after every action to be ready for the next employee. So that's what makes it very quick and efficient, so that users don't have to sign in and out of their own accounts to record their time. So we're going to hop over to the admin user here and go take a look at that labor transaction. And this top one here I just created. Oh wait, I think it was the next one. Yeah, this is number 75. So this is the direct entry and the time associated with it. This is the indirect. So it's supplied the necessary fields. We could have actually, on the time tracker, I'll go back and show that, we could have actually indicated quantity that we completed, quantity that we scrapped, and the reason code and scrap action, right? So we could have actually done all of that back on the time tracker as well. And I can release this. This is a ready to go document, just whether you approve it and release it or just have a scheduled job to release these. Let me go back into that time tracker for Maxwell here and show where Maxwell could have, so we didn't visit this summary tab, or we did, but we didn't get into detail. That's where we could have indicated all those details before we complete. If you have completed but you haven't released the document, you could still reopen, if there was something you forgot. But if you've already released the labor transaction, it won't let you reopen this to work, any edits. You'll just have to, create a manual entry for that piece. All right, let me know what everybody thinks. Thank you.